Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards. Use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Four of Pentacles. This is a very nice way to start. This is a lot of power. This is a lot of stability. And I think as the central card, this is really starting the year off in a very structured and stable way, right? I think you have a lot of plans, and I think you've got a really good foundation that I think you've been building over this past year that's really going to act as kind of the springboard into the future, right? Let's put this into some context. This is very stable and balanced energy. And now we've got some challenge. Now we've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the Moon energy. Oh, we've got the Magus, Magician, a Queen of Wands, a Prince of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the Lover's card, okay, a Five of Cups, and we've got a Knight of Swords. So we have a bit of the court here. We have three of these court cards here. That's going to be significant. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we will just set aside over here. We'll put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay? If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. Okay? Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right, let's look around. Major Arcana. We've got the Magician, the Moon, and the Lovers. Very interesting. I think that for some of you, there is kind of there's almost a reluctance to enter into any kind of a romantic situation. But I think as the year progresses, I think you're going to be drawn in that direction. I think there's this shift in you. I think there's this a focus on the intimate relationships, because we see that Lover's card in the environment. And to me, that's us kind of looking for deeper connections. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, but I think we are looking for those deeper bonds, spiritual bonds, the intimacy with other people in our lives, okay? There is this Moon card, of course, underneath everything, which says we're just not too sure. There's this hesitation, I think, to go in any kind of an intimate direction. And, I think it's because we're so focused on what we're building here. We've got this fire and this earth energy here, this fire up here. So I think we're really focused on building this successful life. We're focused on our business, our work, our career, whatever your efforts are being put into. And it's almost as if this romantic situation is just kind of, it's almost an unwanted distraction, right? But I feel like you're kind of going to be drawn in that direction. Yeah. So we've got the Major Arcana. We've got some fire energy. We've got just a little bit of water. See, and it's the water that we don't want. So that to me is interesting, that we're not so much willing or ready to take on a lot of this kind of emotional energy. We're trying to kind of keep it outside of the picture here, but nevertheless, we are, I think, being drawn toward more intimate relationships. But of course, we don't want the emotional turmoil that comes along with those, which might distract us from what we are building. And I think that you are focused on building. We have a lot of fire and earth, even here with the court cards, fire and earth. I feel like you're really building up this business, this career. You're making a name for yourself. You're making your mark in the world. And I think it's really leading to a lot of success. But I think there's also, like I said, this focus on the more intimate relationships that you kind of feel perhaps that might be the icing on the cake. That might be what's missing in all of this building that you're doing. I also think for some of you, there is an older female energy that's coming through for me. And I feel like there's something going on with the head or the brain or something like that. I think it's someone that has passed. But I think that there's still a very strong influence on you, an older female energy. And I think that they may be, they almost have this kind of stoic energy, right? And I almost feel that they were very ambitious and they really instilled a lot of that kind of hard work, kind of no-nonsense attitude. A lot of that ambition, I think, comes from them for you. I also feel that the 5th month of the year is significant for you, or the 5th day. I see 5 of something here, and I don't know what this is, but I feel like it's, I feel like for some reason the 5 is unlucky for you. Okay, and I don't know what the connection is just yet, but let's take a look at this 4 of Pentacles. This is the stability, the harmony, the balance, right? This is the safety, the security that we have. And this, I think, is very important to you. And I feel, especially with that 7 of Wands that we've got kind of over the top of it, I feel like you'll do anything to defend this. Yeah. To defend the kind of the order, the structure, the harmony, the rhythm of your life, you know. You very much like to be at home. I think what the work that you do feels to me like you work remotely or you work out of the home. But I feel like you're building up your life in such a way that you don't want anything to interfere. You don't want anything to threaten that. Yeah. And because I think it's been very deliberate. I think if you are working remotely, the kind of job you have, the kind of work that you do, the hours that you have, the things that you have yourself surrounded with, I think you've put a lot of attention into those things. It was very intentional. Yeah. And I think you don't want anything to interfere with that. So I feel this defensiveness. Yeah. And that could be why we're kind of iffy about the intimate connections, about the romance, that sort of thing, because we like, maybe you like living where you live. You like doing things your way, right? And that really is echoed by the rest of the cards around us too, especially this Magician card, because this is the energy that takes its time to really put everything in place, right? I think you've surrounded yourself with the exact kind of energy that you want. You've made your home your own. You've made your life your own. And I don't think you're ready to let just anyone come in and compromise that. So I feel like if there is this romance in your future, or there is, deeper intimacy or deeper connections or more deeper bonds with people, I think you have to be very selective, okay? Now, some of you might already be in relationships, marriages, partnerships, but I still feel like you have that kind of energy about you where you've set things up the way you like them and you don't want to compromise that, right? I feel like you're kind of the one that sets the stage, that does the decorating, makes those kinds of decisions around the house, and you're not willing to budge on that. I think you have a very clear vision of what you want your life to be, what you want your future to be. And that is, of course, emphasized by the Prince of Pentacles in the future position. You are continuing to work on building this life, okay? And I think that was instilled by this older female energy, so it could be mom, grandma, could be an older sibling, could be an aunt or something like that, that had the issue with the head or the brain. But I feel like they're still with you and they are still an influence on you. It's almost like you can feel them looking down and encouraging you, kind of, egging you on, like just instilling this ambition in you and just saying, yes, keep going. You're doing the right things. You're building your life the way that you, I think, have always kind of envisioned it. And I feel like you have a lot of power right now. You have a lot of power to kind of manipulate the physical environment. Maybe you have a lot of money saved up that now that becomes a resource. I think you have maybe very robust health, and that is a resource. I think you have you have this home environment that has become a resource for you. So you really have this, you've got like a war chest, and the Prince of Pentacles is the builder. So as long as this person, this energy, you, have the resources, there's nothing that you can't do. As long as the resources are there, you always have a project. You always have something that you're working on, something that you're building toward. And I do think you have a long-term plan for your life, but I don't feel the focus on that. I feel the focus is really on the day-to-day and not so much on the long term. Okay? I do think that you formulated your long-term plan, but I don't know that you're very certain about it. See, we've got this moon energy down here. I feel there is a connection to water with you. I don't know if you live near the water or if somebody has a fear of water, maybe. Sometimes these details come through just to be a confirmation that we're kind of in the right area of energy. But with the moon card down beneath the surface, I don't know that you have a very confident vision of the future. I think you kind of know what you want, but there's the focus on today, and there's almost like, I don't know if this is something that you say, but, tomorrow's not guaranteed. The only thing we have is right now. Tomorrow is still tomorrow. So there's this shadowy future that I see. And I think it's becoming more so now that we're feeling drawn toward these intimate relationships. Maybe as we get older, we start to realize that, hey, I want to work on these intimate bonds, that this career, this life, this home that we're building needs something else, needs that kind of love energy, right? It doesn't have to be romantic, or maybe you're already in a marriage or a partnership. But I think there is this need to strengthen the relationships with family, with friends, with loved ones, right? Because of that Lover's card in the position of the environment. But this is the uncertainty, and I think maybe this is kind of something that's starting to creep up on you, is this idea that, okay, well, I'm building this future, but I'm having a little bit of uncertainty. Maybe maybe the vision that we had of the future is starting to change. Maybe a little bit of a fog has settled over this vision that we have. And we're starting to see that maybe things aren't as certain as we thought they were. Okay? So we're going to move to the path of the serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Okay? So the Five of Pentacles is what we see now as your general energy. So this stability here, which I think we've been really going on this track, but now I think as we get older, and maybe this happens, when New Year's kind of passes and we all start to kind of reflect on the year behind, maybe we also start to reflect on the future, And to me, it feels like there's this uncertainty, and that's echoed here with the Five of Pentacles. It's a little bit of worry, a little bit of uncertainty. Maybe we're trying to clarify this vision that we have of the future, okay? And really what that is showing me is there's this need for the more intimate relationships, okay? The Five of Pentacles, this is, the Four of Pentacles. Every time we have a Four of Pentacles, we're pretty much guaranteed to find a five somewhere. Okay, even if it's just implied. Anytime there's a four, there's a five. We think we have stability. We think we have certainty. We think we have security. We don't. It's an illusion. It may feel that way, but it's never permanent, right? Especially a four. There's still 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The four is this kind of, it's almost the aspiration for security, for stability. And we are trying to defend the stability that we have, and I think part of that is trying to avoid the uncertainty, trying to eliminate the variables. This is a lot of unknown, right? And I think we've been trying to fight against that. We've been trying to keep everything routine, everything predictable. Now we're having some unpredictable feelings, yeah, especially with that moon energy. Now we're realizing that the future isn't guaranteed, that what we might be kind of fighting against is exactly what we need. Yeah. So there's now this this need to kind of adapt, to shift our energy I think, with this Lovers card, because we realize that we don't have the stability that we thought we had. Okay, and maybe it has something to do with this older female energy. Maybe it just has to do with our kind of our analysis of the future, our kind of planning for the future, our daydreaming about the future, and we start to realize that things aren't guaranteed. Okay. And maybe with the Five of Pentacles, we're realizing that there is something missing, because we could have a 4. We could have this illusion of stability, and that could be quite fine. But then we feel like something's missing. Well, what's missing from the 5? Well, the next card would be the 6. The 6 would be that kind of wonderful harmony, that kind of magical thing where I have kind of everything I need in proper proportion. Well, the 4 is stability, but something's missing from there, right? The 4 is kind of stale, right? Maybe the mystery card will be a 6 of something. But the Lovers card, this does not have to be romantic. It could be, for some of you, it definitely is. But I think that this is, now we're looking for deeper connections with the people around us. There's this emphasis on family, on friends, on deeper connections. Yeah, more intimate connections. And this really could be a commitment that we're making now. We perhaps have been feeling a little bit isolated in this 4 of Pentacles. Maybe we've been building a little bit of a tower around ourselves. But now I think we're letting in some of this energy, and we're still iffy about it. We still feel that this is kind of shaking our world up. Both sides are a 5. Physical world is a 5, emotional world is a 5. Things are changing, things are shaking up. We feel like we're beset on all sides by just this whirlwind. Right? But there's almost an excitement that I feel with this, right? We don't want the tumultuous emotions. We don't want the uncertainty. We'd rather be in our stable kind of home, our tower here, doing our work. But there's something kind of exciting about this uncertainty, about this, the whirlwind of emotions and all of this stuff. So the next card we see is the Knight of Swords. And I think that this is us getting out there, and perhaps there's an air sign person coming into your life. If there is this openness to a romantic connection, I think it's going to be an air sign. It might even be a Gemini. But I feel like this is a lot of kind of new thoughts and feelings that are rushing into your life. And I think it's really taken you out of this rather focused fire, earth kind of career emphasis. But now we're on this kind of communication. Now it's almost like we want to make more time to go socialize. Now we want to make more time to connect with other people, to spend time with our family, spend time with our friends, spend time with our kids or relatives or whoever is in your life. I feel like this is a shifting of priorities more than anything. Okay? But I really feel as if there is this desire now, this openness to having these kinds of intimate connections. And it might have something to do with this older female energy. Maybe they have recently passed, and maybe this has got us on a new, kind of a new wavelength, right? Where we're starting to reconsider the trajectory that we had in life. See, we were going this way, but now there's this interruption. Now it's kind of thinking, well, maybe the priorities are different, right? Let's take a look at the mystery card. I'd like this to be a 6. I mean, a 6 of Cups would be just brilliant right now. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments, all right? Let's see, I'm thinking 6 of Cups. No, 4 of Pentacles. There still is this kind of reluctance. We're still clinging. We're still attached to this. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that you are focused on building this life. And it still could be that we're just not quite ready to open ourselves up to that kind of a connection. But I think that as the year goes on, as the months kind of go by, I think you're going to maybe come to more and more of this realization that the 4 is a little bit limited, that it's a little bit isolated, that there is something more available to you in your life. right? And I think that is the intimate relationships. Now, I'm not saying you don't have any. Okay, I don't want that to be misinterpreted. It's not that you don't have any intimate relationships, but I feel like your focus is on the financial, the earthly kind of building, the career, or whatever your kind of your work efforts are. And I feel as if those intimate relationships need more attention. Yeah, because I feel like we want to cling to what's familiar. We want to cling to what we're building, right? And you're building something amazing. I don't think there's any issue with that. The issue, I think, is allowing some of this more intimate energy in at the same time, right? Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link either above or below in the video description. New readings for Leo every Tuesday and Saturday, but I'm here every day. Just come on back, see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.